So the questioner says, you call it liberation? Maharaj says, I call it normal. Next to your diagram, in please capital letters, write normal. I call it normal. In Marathi, the word is sarva sadharan. What's wrong with being, knowing, and acting effortlessly and happily? Why consider it so unusual as to expect the immediate destruction of the body? What is wrong with the body that it should die? Correct your attitude to your body and leave it alone. Don't pamper, don't torture. Just keep it going most of the time below the threshold of conscious attention. This is very important. People who walk the spiritual path, they now feel that no, my body mind is not behaving like the Buddha. It's not walking like the Buddha. It's not talking like the Buddha. Yeah? It's not interacting with the people like the Buddha. This body mind is not following in line with my spiritual progress. No, this is where you're going wrong. Yeah? First of all, please stop torturing it. You start doing things, this is the way only I'm going to dress, this is the way I'm going to speak. And then you're suppressing yourself. Have you noticed some of you did go that way? You had to be corrected. So, what was the wrong understanding that I had? Why did I go that way? Yes, when I started the path, I thought that a liberated one becomes holy. There is some major change in the body and the mind that is going to happen, and this person is going to transform into an angel. Very nice children's story for the children's books. Keep it there. No change is going to happen to this body. Ekta speaks with her hands. She's not going to suddenly speak like this. It's not possible. This is not natural. My hands are still moving. Can you see that? They want to talk. Ekta talks like this. Ekta has to talk like this. Do you get it? Why? Very Indian way of talking. 99% of Indians talk like this. The baby Ekta saw parents talk like this. Neighbors talk like this, community people talk like this. Ekta learned to talk like this. She does ta, thaiya, thaiya, thai while talking. No, Ekta should not talk like this. She should talk like this. No. Then again, it's a pretense. You are now forcing the body mind to follow some new protocol that you have set in your head. This is the way a holy person talks and walks. No. It's not going to happen. Do you understand where I'm going with this? I just gave you a very simple example. Please apply it in specific ideas that you have about the enlightened people. Yeah, or liberated people. No, this is going to continue the way the story was written. It's not going to change. Yes, you can suppress it. And you can. But it's fake. Do you see it? Yes. What got you till here is your authenticity. What will take you ahead is being authentic. Yes, please do not forget this. Authenticity is number one. Most important thing. Why? Because what is liberation? Becoming free of the false ideas, the false self-impositions. Now, this is a new self-imposition if I say that an enlightened person should walk like this, talk like this, behave like this. Yeah, you will go to the extent of saying that the liberated person should not burp and fart also now. Now, you're really going very far. And then you have these weird questions come up. People ask questions, oh, isn't that person a liberated person? How can the person have a disease? It's the body. The body will age. The body will get diseased. The body of a liberated person will also die. Do you get this very clearly? Have you been able to separate out all these self-imposed illusions and discard them? Yeah. So become very clear. Number one, nothing is going to change in the body mind. Yeah. So let's read that again. What is going to change? What is wrong with being, knowing, and acting effortlessly and happily? What does he mean by that? The moment I take my correct stand of just being the sense of I am, I recognize very clearly that this body mind works on a script. It's working perfectly in this script, in this dream world. It functions perfectly. Only when I interfere, I say I want, I don't want, I like, I don't like, then there is chaos. And then there is that self-imposed ideas. If I don't interfere, I stay in my maryada. Do you remember this word a few chapters ago? I stay in my maryada. Then what happens? Then this body mind does its job effortlessly and happily. Clear? The only effort comes from the I jumping in and saying, I like this, I don't like this. I want this, I don't want this. Desire, ikcha. When I maintain my stand, there is no question of conflict. I'm maintaining my maryada, my limit. I'm staying within my limit. Yeah? And then the body mind function automatically. Okay? So that is the meaning of what's wrong with being, knowing, and acting effortlessly and happily. Why consider it so unusual as to expect the immediate destruction of the body? Oh, I am self-realized today, now the body should disappear. Some people have these weird ideas. That is the meaning of enlightenment. The world will disappear. All my beloved people, they are all going to disappear. This body is going to disappear. No. I don't want enlightenment. I just want peace. They don't know they are using a different word for the same thing. There is no peace without enlightenment. Do you recognize this? There is no peace without recognizing your own true self. It's impossible. Do I recognize this? Please contemplate. So he says, what's wrong with the body that it should die? Bichara, why are you behind the poor body? Correct your attitude to your body. Please highlight this. This is very important. Correct your attitude to your body and leave it alone. Number 2, don't pamper it. Number 3, don't torture it. The 4th point is the most important. Just keep it going most of the time below the threshold of conscious attention. For example, right now, you're not conscious about your body. See, now you became conscious of the body. You recognize the difference? Yeah? So it is operating perfectly well without me being focused on it, without my focus lights on it. Correct? I do not need to constantly keep pampering this body. At the same time, please don't torture it. Yes, there is acidity in the stomach. It will correct itself. The mind says, get up, take those acidity pills. No, I'm not getting up. Mind says, please stop having acidic fruits. I'm not going to listen. The body should correct itself. This is torture now. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't pamper it. Don't torture it. Automatically, the body and mind function very well. They are perfect. You are the one who comes in the middle and becomes kebab mein haddi. I don't know the English word for this. Becomes the bone in the middle. Oh, you interrupt it, whatever. Yeah? You are the one who is interrupting this happy marriage. They're a very happily married old couple. They don't need to talk to each other. They understand each other's language perfectly. Yeah. When the stomach is full, it sends a signal to the mind, and the mind wants to stop. You are the one who jumps in the middle and says, I want to eat little more, very tasty pulao, very tasty rice, very tasty whatever, pizza. Yes? You are the one who jumps in the middle. The stomach is full, it sends a signal. The mind listens to the signal. If at that moment you are not focusing on the food, yeah, that time you will see automatically the body mind came to an agreement and you stopped eating. Okay, I'm done. Yeah. But suppose your attention is consciously on the food, whatever you are eating, and on the taste and, the whole thing of eating it and wanting to eat more and lusting more and more. This is so tasty, this is so tasty, this is so tasty. The more you are consciously attentive to it, the more you interrupt between this happy marriage. You don't listen to the signal that goes from the body to the mind. It's an automatic signal. Yeah, even proven by science. So recognize this. I overate that day when I did not let the body-mind function below the conscious threshold. Yes. If I let it function below the conscious threshold, I eat what is required for the stomach. Yeah. Similarly, apply other things. Apply this example to other things in life. Yeah, and understand what Maharaj is saying, the threshold of constant attention. What does that mean? Can I experientially recognize this? Not intellectually, no point. Experientially, can I recognize this in eating, in doing some work? Yeah, if the body is sitting in front of the computer, most of you are IT professionals spending 8 hours, 10 hours in front of the computer, not getting up. The body is giving the signal to the mind that the back is stiff. I need to get up, walk and come back. Yes, but I wants to be feverish and finish this. I have to get this done. I have to get this done. The body is sending a signal to the mind constantly. The back is hurting. The back is not in a comfortable position. Yes, but I am not listening. I am so consumed by that feverishness of that task. So you see, when I don't allow the body mind to function below the threshold of conscious attention. Yeah? When I suppress them, when I torture them, when I pamper them, unnecessarily eating was pampering. Yes, not getting up when the body wanted to get up was unnecessary torture. Yeah, so I gave you 2 examples. Now please start applying. One thing is missing here, that is there in Marathi. मी त्याला सर्वसाधारण म्हणतो. I call it normal. असणे, जाणणे आणि विनाशयास सुखाने क्रिया करणे यात काय गैर आहे. Vinasayas is missing. Vinasayas means spontaneous sukha, spontaneous happiness. So there it just says effortlessly and happily, no? In English. In Marathi, he says spontaneous happiness, not happiness which comes from an external object, but the spontaneous happiness that comes from the background. Just recognizing the background. There is a spontaneous joy, a spontaneous happiness. Yes, by maintaining my position, there is a spontaneous happiness. It's not that excited happiness of getting something. No, it's a very calm peace. Yeah, so I'll read that again in Marathi. मी त्याला सर्वसाधारण म्हणतो. आय कॉल इट नॉर्मल. असणे, टू बी, जाणणे, टू नो आणि विनाशयास सुखाने क्रिया करणे. To do some action with spontaneous happiness. ह्यात काय गैर आहे? What is wrong with it? Yeah. That was the only word missing there. The memory of my wonderful experiences haunts me. I want them back. So what he's actually meaning to say is that the memory of my past experiences distracts me and pulls me away from this practice of I am, this methodology that Maharaj has laid down. He's not talking to them about it the first time. He's saying, yes, I know this, but the memory of my wonderful experiences distracts me from this. Yeah, so you can change the haunts me to distracts me. I want them back, he says. Maharaj says, because you want them back, you cannot have them. The state of craving for anything blocks all deeper experience. I'll stop there. What is the meaning of state of craving? In Marathi, there is an additional word added there. It is the state of ardent craving. Yeah, like strong craving. Yeah, the state of craving for anything blocks all deeper experiences. In Marathi, कशासाठी ही उत्कट इच्छेची अवस्था सर्व सखोल अनुभवांना अडथळा करते. Utkat, ardent, strong. This word is missing in English. The state of strong craving. This blocks or creates an obstacle for any deeper level experience. So if you're not able to establish in the sense of I am in the background, you check. Is there some very strong craving that pulls me out? Yeah, there has to be something very strong that is acting as an obstacle, that is blocking me from going deeper into the sense of I am. Okay. Nothing of value can happen to a mind which knows exactly what it wants. For nothing the mind can visualize and want is of much value. This is so opposite, exact opposite, a big contradiction to what you have heard in the material world. In the material world it is, you should take the initiative, you should have a dream, you dream big, then you get that. Here Maharaj says, you cannot dream big. You cannot have anything of value, from the mind. The mind cannot really imagine or even bring that value. Anything that the mind wants is worthless, basically. Yeah. Then what is worth wanting? In Marathi, it is what is worth desiring, craving for. Maharaj says, want the best, the highest happiness, the greatest freedom. Desirelessness is the highest bliss. Highlight this answer, and this is what has given the name to the chapter. I'll read the answer in Marathi. Sarvottam असेल त्याची इच्छा धरा. Hold that desire which is the supreme. Sarvocha sukha, the supreme happiness, not less than supreme. Sarvocha sukha. Sarvasreshta swatantra, the highest kind of freedom. Nothing less than that will do. The highest kind of freedom. Nirikshata, he sarvocha sukha ahe. So how is nirikshata or desirelessness sarvocha sukha? How is it the highest bliss? It's not ahead. The answer is not there ahead. I told you right in the beginning. Yeah? When I maintain my position as the witness consciousness, I recognize whatever happens here to this body-mind. Yes, it is part of this waking dream. When I can maintain this, I can maintain it further into the dream state and recognize there is another body-mind, a dream body-mind in the dream world. I am not that. Whatever is happening to that is not happening to me. I am simply the witness. And then I can witness the darkness of deep sleep, means the absence of the sleeping dream world and the waking dream world is known very well there. Aha, I am this witness consciousness. And this witness keeps dissolving into the primordial awareness. Keeps dissolving. I am that nothingness. I never die. I can never die. This is the sarvocha sukha, the highest kind of happiness. Why? Because it relieves you from the fear of death. There is nothing else that you are really fearful of. You say, no, I don't worry about the death of, this body, but I am bothered about the death of the loved ones. Whose loved ones? The loved ones of this body. So who are you finally attached to? This body. Wake up, wake up. Another story the ego creates to hide its attachments. Wake up. Yeah? Don't get fooled by the fake ego. Attachment of this body. Yeah, in the sleeping dream, there was another dream body. And it had another mother or father or another brother, sister, spouse. Somebody else only in that dream. Did you bother about that? No, it was all a dream. Simple, this is also all a dream. Brush it away the way you brush that away. Yeah. Neither did the sleeping dream body die, neither does this waking body experience its death. Do you get this? Has anybody told you, yes, I experienced death? Forget that. Has anybody come and told you, yes, I have experienced birth? In my direct experience, I do not experience birth. I do not experience death. What does this mean? Does birth happen to me? Does death happen to me? Contemplate. Yeah? The moment this fear is gone, the attachment to this body, to this person, that drops away. When the attachment to this drops, there is no need to jump in and say, I want this, I don't want this. It's all a dream. Yeah? Now it doesn't bother me anymore. Now I just watch it like a movie, like a film, which goes from one scene to the next to the next. I have woken up to the truth that I am the audience sitting on that chair far away. I am not the hero or the heroine in the movie. Yeah, many times you go to the movies and you forget that you're sitting on the chair, right? You become the hero or the heroine. You start sobbing. Yeah, all tragedy, comedy. You become one with it, right? And suddenly, interval. And then you come back to reality. Oh, my spouse is sitting here. I am this. You suddenly wake up, no? That is realization. That's self-realization. Waking up. Oh, this is who I am, not this. I'm not the hero, I'm not the heroine. Sadly, but truly. Yeah, so, when the fear of death leaves you, then that is the state of the highest bliss. Sarvocha Sukha, highest bliss. There is no other bliss than that. Cannot be. Yeah, because this body, mind is the only thing that you're really attached to. The only fear is the fear of death. There is no fear of the death of the loved ones. There is no fear of this dream world. No fear of all this. All this is story. Because all this is related to this body mind. So the attachment is to this body mind. Do you get it? The only fear is the fear of death of this that I always considered as I. The moment the I becomes separate from this body mind and recognizes, no, I do not die. In my direct experience, I can see it. The body dies. In fact, it dies every day at the end of the waking state. When I move into the dream state, there is no more body. Yes. Only the body dies. I do not die. There is no death for me. That is Sarvocha Sukha, the highest bliss. That brings about desirelessness. There is no need to desire then when this body is not me, when this mind is not me. I have got nothing to do with this world. All belongs to God. I've got nothing to do with God. I've got nothing to do with God. Clear?
If I take the stand as a body or a mind, I think, oh, this has to leave me. That was the understanding before. But taking the step back, it's like, oh, I'm already don't have these. It's already left. That's the change in understanding that I was referring to.
Perfect. And, yes, that's only possible if you've done your Swapna Nidra Jnana practice. If you've really seen that I cannot be touched by the waking body and the waking world. I cannot be touched by the dream body and the dream world. And I cannot be touched or harmed by the absence of all objects in the darkness of deep sleep. When you see this, experientially see it, Then you recognize, I do not die. I cannot die. Death does not happen to me. Nothing touches me. So this has to be an experiential recognition. Yes, and when you are there, then you become even clear about what it is. The flavor of it is love. The flavor of it is happiness. Yeah, that spontaneous happiness. Its flavor, its taste is that. In that happiness, in that flavor, there is no more the birth of desire. How can desire be born where there is that spontaneous happiness? It's that peace. That peace is like a serene lake. If I let even one desire come in it, it's like allowing a ripple to arise and disturb the serenity of the still, calm lake. Even a ripple is a disturbance. That recognition happens there. And when you don't want even a single ripple, you recognize, oh, my nature is that calmness. My nature is not desire. Yeah, so that's when slowly, step by step, this reveals itself. My nature is desirelessness. My truth is desirelessness. Yeah, this ripple was the false assumption. This understanding that I will die, this assumption that I will die, was a false story that I was telling myself. All these were self-imposed ideas. I am that calm, serene lake, and my nature is this spontaneous joy, spontaneous happiness. When there is happiness, there is no room for desire. Do you see this? What is desire? When there is a sense of lack, that's when there is a desire, I want or I don't want this. Yeah? Why? Because there is a sense of lack. What is not sufficient, is not good enough. That is why I want something else to fill it up, or I don't want this at least to disturb whatever is. When this does not disturb, then I'm better. So I'm not happy with what is. I want it to be different than what it is. Sense of lack. Now when you reach this stage of absolute nothingness, where there is spontaneous happiness, where is the lack? So the root cause of desire is eliminated. Desire germinates only when there is a sense of lack. It cannot come up where there is absolute true happiness, which is my nature. Yes, but to reach this point, I have to become very clear that I am that witness consciousness that is not touched by the waking body-mind and the waking world, not touched by the dream body-mind and the dream world, and not touched by the darkness of deep sleep. I remain untouched. I am birthless and deathless. I am ever blissful.